Hi, it's Scott ROCKFILE back with another podcast review. I don't review too many classic films, but let's talk about North by Northwest, the 1959 Alfred Hitchcock film. Over a month ago, during a sale on Grub, they had the Steelbook of North by Northwest for like $15. And that movie is out of print. The Steelbook is. You could get the 4K anytime, and the 4K usually costs more than that. So I picked it up, and they actually shipped me two, and I shipped one back. I should have saved it and flipped it on eBay, but I don't really do that kind of stuff. Anyway, long story short, I got a very cheap copy of this film, basically because it was cheap, and I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I wanted to see it. This was that movie I remember that they have the big chase scene on the Mount Rushmore, right? I mean, and that and the plane scene. There's some things that hold up as set pieces in this movie like modern films. But watching it now, wow! Alfred Hitchcock truly pulled out all the stops. He uses every trick in the book to pull this movie off. It was an MGM movie at the time, had about a $4 million budget, which was a lot of money back then. Went on to make over $9 million. I don't know what to say about it. Cary Grant, Eva Marie Saint, James Mason, you got a stacked cast. You got Bernard Herrmann's score, which is fantastic. The team that he put together to work on this film were firing on all cylinders. The cinematographer, Bernard Herrmann, the music, all of these folks that he worked with had worked with him before and kind of knew how to bring his vision to light. From special effects, they do matte paintings, they do forced perspective stuff. They have real scenery, fake scenery. It really, from camera angles to how it was shot to how it was put together, you have a kind of spy, kind of romantic thriller with literally a director who's worked for years, and this is like him working at his peak powers. Everything about this film works. The reason I don't watch a lot of these old movies that I grew up with, because, well, the acting changes. By the 60s into the 70s, we came to a more naturalistic style of acting. Things were more stagey, more like a play with a little more exaggerated. And Cary Grant, his earlier films, he's very much kind of a character. And in later films, he also very much plays himself, kind of. But in this movie, I think he really does do a good job at playing our main character, who is really just a guy. He's like an advertising executive, and gets mistaken for somebody else and gets involved in a spy thriller. And I don't want to give anything away because a lot of people in modern times don't watch these old films. This was filmed in extremely widescreen on film. It looks fantastic from beginning to end. They did a full 4K restoration. It is a native 4K transfer from the original film elements. HDR was applied to it. It looks crisp like the day it came out, arguably probably better than the day it came out. They've also fixed the soundtrack and put it in Dolby Atmos. And while it won't keep up with Thunderbolts or something like that I just reviewed, wow, hearing the score fully envelop you, and the score is just so good in this film and highlights everything. This is back when scores weren't just music in the background, that it highlights every little action in the film. I don't know what other great words I can say without echoing anything that's been written about this movie over the years. 1959. But things that look kind of hokey on your TV when you were growing up watching reruns of this compared to a fully restored version now brings the grandeur back to it. The scenes out in the field with the plane chasing him on the face of Mount Rushmore. They might be on sets and stuff, but the set dressing and everything, it's done incredibly well, especially for the time. I fully enjoyed watching this movie from beginning to end. I didn't check my phone. I didn't check my watch. It played like a modern movie, unlike a lot of old films do. The acting is not so stilted or stagey. It feels, in the beginning, he's kind of talking to they're walking, and he's talking to his secretary, ordering presents and talking about his day and the week and whatever else. And it's just rapid fire script and conversation, and it's just working. Much more organic feeling than, say, movies just a few years before. I just got a version of To Catch a Thief, so we're going to watch that and see how he does 4 years earlier. But anyway, North by Northwest, I had a Blu-ray copy of it years ago, and I don't think I ever watched it, and I lost it somewhere over time. But this new 4K edition, spectacular. best the movie's ever looked, one of the best 4Ks I've watched this year. The soundtrack being updated to modern times in Dolby Atmos. This is a quintessential classic film. You can say that everything from Jack Ryan movies to other action movies of today pulled from this film, pulled from movies like this. But Alfred Hitchcock, wow, really knocked this one out of the park. Tracking shots, like I said, the forced perspective, the different uses of different kinds of special effects, blue screens and things like that, and matte paintings, and how they pulled it off. It's just impressive. All the extras go into great detail about this team. They were all firing on all cylinders, and if he came up with an idea, they would figure out how to do it, and because they had done that before. And the special effects play better than some of his earlier films. I just think, all in all, this is quintessential Alfred Hitchcock and a quintessential spy thriller from 1959. Wow, really holds up. Pick up the 4K if you get a chance. I thought it was spectacular. I'm Scott, I'm ROCKFILE. More podcasts on the way. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a spectacular day.